What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Zachary Ruger, and since I was a wee little boy of 6 years old, I have been watching the MCU. And one thing that I love to do whenever I watch a new MCU movie is rank them on a list. And I hadn't have made a ranking list since I'd watched Avengers Endgame, and it wasn't until I had recently seen Fantastic Four First Steps I realized, hey, I should go through and rank all 37 MCU movies from worst to best. So let me just tell you, Fantastic Four First Steps might rank a bit higher than you would expect. And that's exactly what we're going to do on today's episode. We're going to go through all 37 MCU movies, all the way from Iron Man to Fantastic Four, and rank them from 37 being the worst to number 1 being the best MCU movie. You may be surprised what I have at number 1. And yeah, certainly these movies of late, Phase 4, Phase 5, these movies just haven't really felt like the old MCU, if you know what I'm saying, those Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3 films. But let me just say, they put out a couple bangers here in 2025 for the MCU, and with the future Spider-Man, Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars, I think we're going to be in good hands. But without ado, I say we dive right into it. Coming in at number 37, what I think is the worst movie in the MCU, it is The Marvels. And I am just going to outright say it. I just do not like this film. I think it is dumb. I think it is corny. I think it was unnecessary. I think there's no reason that not only did we have a Captain Marvel sequel, but it's not even like a Brie Danvers or whatever, Carol Danvers or whatever, Brie Larson's character's film. You're also adding in Miss Marvel, and you're adding in the woman from WandaVision. I mean, I don't even know the characters' names, or Monica Rambeau or whatever. It's honestly just a dumb film. And like one of the main battle scenes in this film, they go to a dancing planet, or whenever everyone communicates by like song or something. It's so bad. The villains aren't menacing at all. Like, I'm watching Fantastic Four, I could feel Galactus. I'm watching Avengers Infinity War, I can feel Thanos. The villain here, I don't even know what their purpose was. It was so bad. It was so dumb. And the only redeeming quality of this is in an end credit scene. You learn that through some space-time continuum, Monica Rambeau is now in an alternate universe with the X-Men, and that's how the X-Men are going to come into the MCU. Other than that, there is no need for anyone to see this film. I don't even think you need to watch it to complete an MCU rewatch. So The Marvels comes in at number 37. Coming in at number 36, we have the second film ever made in the MCU, that is The Incredible Hulk. At least I think it is the second. I think it came out before Iron Man 2, if I'm thinking correctly. And honestly, you ain't missing much here. The Incredible Hulk, it's no Mark Ruffalo. I don't think that Ed Norton or whatever his name is, I don't think he did a bad job. It just doesn't really feel like an MCU film. I mean, we have the end credit scene with Tony Stark. That's about it. That's really about it in this film. Now, Abomination, Hulk, you have a pretty cool fight scene, decent CGI, but there just wasn't much in this film that made me think this is such an amazing movie. Now, Hulk's design here is often debated as what looks better, him or Mark Ruffalo's version, or the one that we've seen in Avengers and beyond. And I'll say for this one, it looks more Hulkish compared to the Mark Ruffalo version, but Mark Ruffalo's looks more realistic if we're trying to go for a realistic thing in a made-up universe. But yeah, Incredible Hulk, I don't think it's as bad as people say, but certainly at 36 in terms of ranking all MCU movies, that's where it lands. Coming in at number 35, we have Captain Marvel. And yes, as you can see, I'm not a fan of the Captain Marvel movies. I don't even like her when she's in Infinity War and Endgame. Oh wait, she's not even in Infinity War. She's in that little dumb end credit scene. Captain Marvel is not a good rewatchable film. And when I saw it in the theater, it was cool. Oh, there's Skrulls and there's shape-shifting. And I like the main actor who played the main Skrull. And you get to see Nick Fury more. There's that, but there isn't even really a villain in this. I mean, you have Ronan the Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy. We're just recycling him, and we know nothing bad's going to happen to him. It's kind of dumb. It's pretty dumb, and I didn't really feel an emotional attachment to it. And when I'm thinking of not only my first experience, but my experience watching this movie again, this movie is not good. Rewatch again. So Captain Marvel comes in at 35. I will not apologize to any Captain Marvel supporters. I think that Brie Larson is an amazing actress, but Carol Danvers, the character, I ain't rocking with her. Coming in at number 34, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That's right, Ant-Man 3, if you will. And this is it's just not it. It's not it. Now, I think one thing that adds to this is that the issues with Jonathan Majors and Kang having to be cut from the MCU kind of makes this film irrelevant, because this was supposed to be like the big introduction of the next big bad in the MCU, and it ended up just being a villain they had in this film. I mean, I think this movie ends with Ant-Man not even knowing if he killed Kang. Like, it kind of just ends on like a cliffhanger, if you will. And I love Paul Rudd. I think he's an amazing actor. But the majority of this movie isn't even centered around him. It's centered around his daughter Cassie and like her journey through the quantum realm. And then it's about like the whole family, the Wasp mom and pop coming to also help out. And you also have Bill Murray is in this, for goodness sakes. I mean, oh my goodness, this movie is kind of a mess. It's a CGI monstrosity, and I found myself actually rooting for the villain. And when you're creating a movie, you don't want the audience to be rooting for the villain. I was actually hoping Kang would win. So Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania comes in at number 30, 34. Yeah, we can pass on this one on a rewatch. Coming in at number 33, we have Thor: The Dark World, Thor 2. And, you know, people have this as their worst MCU movie. I personally don't. I think it's fine on a rewatch. I think, obviously, when you look at Malekith as a villain, he's just not that menacing. He's not that good. The Dark Elves are kind of like, it's a dumb idea that just want to plunge the world into darkness, but it introduced the reality stone, the ether, you know, it introduced that for the first time. You saw Thor's mother's death, that emotional impact. You got some Heimdall action, Loki actually working with Thor, the plot twist at the end of Loki turning into Odin. We didn't know the implications of that. We actually got our first look at the Collector, which we wouldn't see again until Guardians of the Galaxy. So, you know, obviously I can acknowledge it's not that good of a film. You know, I definitely think out of all the Thor movies, it's not the best, but it's kind of hard when you have Thor Ragnarok out there, which is absolutely amazing. But Thor: The Dark World gonna come in at number 33. I think it gets more hate than it does, but I can still acknowledge it. Yeah, we'll pass on this one. Coming in at number 32, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp. And Ant-Man and the Wasp is just a slight bit better than Ant-Man Quantumania. Some could even argue it's worse, but they just really lean into the comedy here. And by the way, I love the little sidekick, the little Mexican sidekick that's always chiming in funny one-liners with Paul Rudd, and Ant-Man. His character is so funny. Walton Goggins is in this, Lauren Fishburne. You got a lot of good cast members in here. But I will say the villain Ghost, it's not even a villain. Like, there really isn't a villain in this film. The entire plot of this is more so to rescue the Wasp mother from the quantum realm. And this would probably be a fun movie to just watch with the wife and kids. But in terms of like, oh, I want to see an MCU blockbuster, no. No. This is not a movie there. And I will say the end credit scene was a perfect little twist to see, to explain where Ant-Man is during the events of Avengers Infinity War. But yes, when we're stacking it up against all the other movies, it's in the lower half. Coming in at number 31, we have Black Widow. Black Widow was the big return post-COVID to MCU movies. And let me just say, there is, you know, I just did not feel anything in this. I saw it in the theater, okay, on a rewatch. Oh my gosh, it was so bad on a rewatch, I can't even lie. Now, I love David Harbour as Red Guardian. I love Yelena, her sister. I thought that their little team up was cool, but Taskmaster was an awful villain. Let me just look at that. An awful villain. What a waste of a character. And I guess, you know, like the whole program or whatever Black Widow's involved in, and they're having to rescue all them. That was okay, but I mean, honestly, it is not a fun rewatchable movie. And the only parts I like is when I see Yelena and when I see Red Guardian. And other than that, I'm just not rocking with it. But it was a nice tribute to the Black Widow character. Everyone else got their films except Hawkeye. He got a little TV series, which we aren't going to talk about any of the Disney Plus series because they all pretty much are average. But Black Widow just misses it out of the top 30. And yeah, sad that we'll no longer see Natasha Romanoff in the MCU, but it is what it is. Black Widow at number 30. Coming in at number 30, we have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. What a letdown. Let me just say, this is one of the biggest letdowns I've ever seen. One of the biggest letdowns. This is what Deadpool and Wolverine ended up being. Okay, we thought we were going to get the most cameos we've ever seen. We were promised cameos. And we got absolutely no cameos. Literally no cameos. We had, who did we have? We had like some, what was it, Shockwave or whatever it is. We did have John Krasinski. He came in as Reed Richards, you know, which, by the way, I thought Pedro Pascal actually did a better job than him in that, and playing a Mr. Fantastic, whatever his name is. You also had the Penny Carter. You also had Monica Rambeau's mother, whatever her name is. Maybe Monica Rambeau is her name. I don't know, but those were the only cameos you had. And it was also weird because we had just watched WandaVision. This is when I actually watched Disney Plus shows, and now I'm supposed to believe that she's the big bad villain of this show. I wasn't really buying it. I did kind of like the whole Cthulhu, like dark magic stuff. That was kind of freaky, and there was like this horror aspect at times. And also watching the X-Men get absolutely murked, like Professor Xavier just get absolutely murked by Wanda. That was kind of funny, but Wanda basically dies, doesn't die, we'll never know. And the CGI was awful. The ending is so bad. So like Doctor Strange gets a third eye. I mean, it is so dumb. It is so dumb. I can't even believe it made it to 30. I low-key wish I would have put this lower. It is a rough movie. Like, I'm kidding you. We'll get to a point where movies from up from here are good, but Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness, it is the biggest 6 or 5 out of 10 movie you could possibly see. Coming in at number 29, we have Iron Man 2. And don't get me wrong, I love me a little Robert Downey Jr., but I think everyone can acknowledge Iron Man 2 is significantly weaker of any appearance we've had of Iron Man. The villain, Whiplash, is just dumb. He's just the dumb villain. Now, I did enjoy seeing Iron Man as his arc continues to go from billionaire playboy to a much more grounded superhero. Him and Penny, their relationship growing, it's okay. You also get Black Widow introduced in this. I always love seeing Happy, but it is what it is. You also get the end credit scene tease of Thor. I mean, that was massive back in 2010, but the race scene was cool. Other than that, final battle scenes, him and Rhodey taking on Whiplash. It is what it is. There's not much time needed to be spent on Iron Man 2. I think we can all acknowledge that overall it's an okay movie, but when I stack it up, like I said, it lands here at number 29. Coming in at number 28, we have Black Panther Wakanda Forever, the sequel to the great Black Panther film. And, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, it had a lot to work with. It had a lot to work with the death of Chadwick Boseman, and it tried. I will acknowledge it tried, but similar to Ant-Man Quantumania, I ended up rooting for Namor in this film. Namor was such a cool villain. He was just menacing. He's literally a god. He's like a water god, and I'm supposed to expect that Shuri, who recently became Black Panther, is supposed to take him down. I wasn't buying that at all. Here's just another film. We're introducing way too many characters than we need to. This is also a long film. I do really like the plot twist of Shuri's mother, her and T'Challa's mother dying in this film. I didn't see that coming, but I mean, the final battle scene was really dumb. It just felt stupid, and we're just introducing way too many characters. And I think that the reveal that Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, his character T'Challa, he had a son in the film who's going to carry on the Black Panther legacy, and they basically, props to the director, did as best as he could with a worse situation. But yeah, Black Panther Wakanda Forever comes in at number 28. Coming in number 27, we have Thor, the OG Thor movie, the introduction to Chris Hemsworth as Thor. And I don't know why, but he looks different in this film. I know his hair got longer, but I just swear he looks different in this film. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me, but it was a good introduction to Thor. It was a bit of a spicier addition. We had seen Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, and now we're seeing Thor. Oh, it was really good. And I think the first Thor, it does hold up better than the sequel. It doesn't do too much. It does what it needed to. You get little Easter eggs here and there. Loki is a good villain, but then he's also Thor's brother and the ice giants. It's mystical world. And I still think that scene when they're on that planet is just so fun with like the big chase with the monster. It feels menacing. And then going to Earth, falling in love with Jane. It's pretty decent. Obviously, it's nowhere near as good as the other Thor movies, or I guess Thor Ragnarok particularly. But Thor, the first one, not too bad. Does come in at number 27, but I will say there are more positives with this movie than negatives. Coming in at number 26, Thor Love and Thunder. I just have it a bit above Thor. Now, these are kind of interchangeable for me. Thor Love and Thunder is pretty much, they looked at what Taika Waititi, the director, the producer, look what he did with Thor Ragnarok, the beauty, the masterpiece that was Thor Ragnarok, and then they gave him full reins of Thor Love and Thunder. Thor Love and Thunder is just too much. too much, doing way too much. There are scenes when characters should die and they don't die. There are scenes for seriousness which are then filled with humor, and there's scenes where the humor is enough and they continue to stack on the humor. There is way too much humor in this film. We also have cool villains, like you have Zeus, you have Hercules, and they're kind of nerfed. And you have Bane the God Butcher, Gore the God Butcher, played by Christian Bale, who potentially could have been a top 5 villain in the MCU, and Christian Bale just had little to be worked with. Like, the script was just not in his favor for this film. He did everything he could, but it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. But I will say, Jane finally passing on, going to Valhalla in an end credit scene, us learning that Heimdall's still alive. I absolutely love that. Hercules is going to be the next big bad of Thor. Thor's now a father, so you're going to see like a mini Thor or something coming on. He had a daughter out of this. But, there's just some progressiveness. There's a lot of gay stuff which doesn't need to be added, lesbian stuff. We just do not need that. And I'm okay with characters that have that, no issue. But when it's unnecessarily forced, like we have the Rock character, like Thor's little sidekick, can only have a son if he's with another male, and it's just the dumbest thing. I will never forgive that movie for adding that in there. But Thor Love and Thunder, it's still Thor. This is a Thor who had just been through Avengers Endgame, and he had just left with the Guardians, that opening scene with the Guardians, and him getting fit again. I absolutely love that. It was fun, but also it was whatever. So Thor Love and Thunder comes in at number 26. Coming in number 25, I have Eternals. A lot of people have this lower, but the Eternals hate. It is an overhated film. I will say the visualness of this film, the costumes, the design, it is so good. It is really, really amazing. I really like the scale with the celestial beings. I like the lore, the history we're learning with these characters. I really enjoyed it. Now, I will say the negatives is that it makes no sense they didn't get involved with anything that went down in Infinity War and Endgame. It makes zero sense. It really makes zero sense at all, because their whole goal is to bring the Earth to fruition, and they keep advancing civilization. So wouldn't you think if half the Earth's population, or even more, since it was basically half the universe's population, got wiped out, that you would want to save Earth and save the universe? I guess not. I guess that's not really on their agenda. Also, the fact that we've only had one reference in the entire MCU about the giant celestials sticking out of the Earth, that makes no sense. And you have a lot of but the entire movie ends with cliffhangers. The post-credit scenes are cliffhangers. We've had no other reference to the Eternals. I don't even know if their character actors are slated to appear in Avengers Doomsday. I don't even think they are. I think they might appear in Secret Wars at best. So Eternals, it's all right. I think a lot of the cast members, it's such a strong cast. You have Salma Hayek, you have the guy from Saltburn, you have Kit Harington, like I said. You also have Rob Stark, you have the guy from Bullet Train. Yeah, a lot of these actors' names are just evading me, but it's a star-studded cast. Lots of fun overall, but yeah, comes in at number 25. Coming in number 24, Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, out of the 4 Avengers movies, this is definitely everyone's weakest link, and I just think it's just how it worked out. Just how the film worked out. There isn't really any bad in this film per se. I mean, Ultron is an amazing villain. I mean, James Spader voicing him, a peak. But there's just something about it. There's something about it. When I stack up the movies, when I look at the movies, every movie above this, I just think is a better film. Now, there's a lot to love about this. Obviously the big end credit tease of Thanos saying, fine, I'll do it myself. Obviously the, butting heads of Thor and Captain America and Iron Man, you see them clashing with things. And the movie kind of ends with everyone going their separate ways of sort. It's certainly a cool aspect there. And I just think when I look at the final battle scene, I think the final battle scene makes the movie. And there's just something more intoxicating about watching Loki and his alien race come and take over New York City than there was about this, Sokovia being picked up in the air and being slammed down into the earth. There was just something more. It felt higher stakes with Avengers for some reason. So Avengers Age of Ultron, you can nitpick some things, but overall, it's pretty good. I mean, you have the moment where Captain America can somewhat move the hammer, which had one of the craziest payoffs in Avengers Endgame. But yes, I have Avengers Age of Ultron at number 24. Coming in at number 23, I have Captain America Brave New World. That is right, the latest Captain American film, and I was Captain America. I was so skeptical coming in. I was a hater. I didn't even go to the theater. I told Lexi, my girlfriend, we're not going to the theater. We're not watching this. Finally, we watched it at her house on Disney Plus, and I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. Now, obviously, the villain isn't that good. It's kind of they actually did kind of make the villain kind of menacing. It was call back to the Incredible Hulk, but he's not that menacing. He really isn't. There's moments where characters are dying where I'm like, oh wow, they're really just shooting characters dead just like that. But Giancarlo, what is it? Giancarlo Esposito? I can't remember. Oh my gosh, Giancarlo Stanto, whatever his name is. Amazing actor. He's from Better Call Saul. He's been in so many things. Absolutely amazing villain in this one. You also have Harrison Ford playing the president, and I will say, obviously, like him turning into Red Hulk was a big moment in the film. If we'd have kept that a secret in the trailers, I think it would have made that final scene, because everything you see in the trailers is just bar for bar what happened at the end of the film. Now, obviously, in the end credit scene, you have a big tease of the villain here. Was it like the guy was like his big brain damaged face or whatever? Him going like, "Oh, you have no idea what's coming, who's coming." It is what it is. So, Captain America Brave New World, is it the best Captain America? Absolutely not. Is it the worst Captain America? I guess when I actually look at my list, it is. But I do think Sam Wilson taking over here, taking the reins from Steve, it was actually pretty good. So, go see this movie. It's not as bad as people say. Coming in number 22, we have Iron Man 3, and Iron Man 3 is the most grounded version of Iron Man we had seen up to that point in the MCU. This was him dealing with the PTSD of the Battle of New York from the Avengers, and this was him losing his suit again, and now he's forming this bond with this young kid named, what was it, Riley Reef, whatever his name was, Rhett or whatever, and seeing that aspect of things, and seeing his girlfriend, did I call his girlfriend Penny? It's Pepper, isn't it? His girlfriend's name is Pepper, isn't it? Pepper Potts or something. I think that's what it is. I was thinking Penny does not make any sense. I'm thinking the Big Bang Theory, but seeing their relationship grow, seeing I think them almost get married or something, I can't really recall, but it was pretty good. It was really good. And the final battle scene of where his entire house is destroyed, that's actually early in the film, and all the suits are then working against him at the end, and then James Rhodes coming in as War Machine or the American Patriot or whatever. It's really fun. It really is. And obviously, was it Aldrich Killian, the villain? He is a evil bastard. Now, the worst part of this film, everyone can acknowledge, is the Mandarin being revealed to be a joke. Don't worry, Shang-Chi fixed that. But Iron Man 3 coming in at number 22. Pretty solid with that placement. At number 21, we have Ant-Man. The first Ant-Man film is easily the best Ant-Man we have seen in the MCU, and Paul Rudd just did a great job here. This is the perfect mix of comedy, action, stealth, reveal, just this using the element of him shrinking super, super tiny. This is everything that is good about Ant-Man. This is what the other two movies failed to capture, and Ant-Man was just good overall. You get the introduction of him as a family man, not the Wasp. Who's the villain in this? Yellow Jacket is actually a menacing, victim. He goes after his daughter. I really like the stepdad. Whatever show he's in, I love him as an actor. It's real good. It's a really good movie, and this is the first bit you see of Ant-Man before Civil War when he comes in, and Paul Rudd can really switch it on from comedy to seriousness, and that's the similar aspect to Chris Hemsworth, and that's what I really like when I see these MCU actors. So Ant-Man coming in number 21. It's pretty good. It's a rewatchable movie. It's enjoyable. It's fun. Coming in at number 20, getting into our top 20, we have Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. The first one, miles, leagues better than the sequel. And even when I saw this the first time, I didn't even know it was part of the MCU. I was still a naive. How old was I? I was like 14 years old. I didn't understand the correlation, the connection there. And I wish I had, because it would have made the viewing experience much better. But just seeing Doctor Strange go from this world-class doctor to having his hands broken, then having to learn magic, and then rebuilding everything from there, and the magical cloak and Wong, and just all these introduction of characters, it's good. It's really good. And obviously the villain is seen kind of as being weaker. The actor in this who plays the villain, he's very good. I absolutely love him and all he's in. But who really should have been the main villain of this movie should have been Dormammu. The little bit we did see of Dormammu was perfect, was perfection. That was the end credit scene where Doctor Strange just keeps him in a time loop forever, just continuously dying until he finally gives in. Absolutely love that. And I think Doctor Strange was one of the leaders. And then this new force, Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be one of the main actors transitioning us into the phase 6, 7, and beyond of the MCU. And as of right now, he might even be one of the main leaders of the Avengers. I'll have to see, catch up with my little MCU lore before Avengers Doomsday. But he was good in this film, Doctor Strange. It's a pretty good film. Coming in at number 19, you may be surprised, you may not agree, but Thunderbolts at number 19. It is, I know it's fresh, I just saw it a couple months ago, but it was great. It was really great. I have nothing but praise for Thunderbolts. I can just, the camaraderie of Yelena, of Red Guardian, of Bucky Barnes, of Ghost, of John Reacher, whatever, John Smith, whoever the US soldier is. It's great. It is really great. And this team, it's not until the end we get the big reveal. The movie isn't actually the Thunderbolts. It is actually the new Avengers. This is the new Avengers. These are your new Avengers. And I absolutely love that because none of them want to be the Avengers. They're all almost anti-heroes all working together. And you never know where this movie's heading. You really have no idea. And the introductory of, what was his name, Paul or whatever, as Sentry. Oh my gosh, the fact he ended up being the big bad villain. Oh, and he sent everyone into the void. So good. And then the end credit scene, it's our last big end credit scene of the big reveal that the Fantastic Four are coming into the MCU to save themselves from Doctor Doom. So Thunderbolts, you really need to check it out. If you haven't seen it, you'll have no idea where the movie's going. I will say the early scene where they kill one of the characters that I thought was going to be a part of this group, oh my gosh, I absolutely love that. Thunderbolts coming in at number 19. It is proof that new MCU movies can deliver. Coming in at number 18, we have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. It's such a shame we haven't seen Shang-Chi at all since this movie. I mean, it makes no sense. Where has Shang-Chi been? Has Shang-Chi just disappeared off the face of the earth? Have we just forgotten who Simu Lee is? This movie was awesome. This was one of the new movies they introduced back in 2021. We haven't had a single reference to Shang-Chi, but this was such a fun movie. It is one of my favorite origin stories here in the MCU, and this is proof that you can introduce a new culture. It's similar to Black Panther. This is your first Asian superhero, and you don't overdo it. You don't make it like, oh, this is the first woman superhero. No, this is just a great superhero in Shang-Chi, and the villain, his father, the commander, the actual Mandarin. Oh, it is so good. And the Order of the Ten Rings, whatever it is, they're a menacing group. Okay, they scared freaking me to death. They were a freaky bunch. And yeah, this is fun. The final end battle scene with the dragon is super cool. Seeing like all these like weird bat-like creatures sneak out of like this whatever dark universe they were holding and whatever world they went into. It was good. It was really good. Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings. It lands here at number 18, and I have nothing but praise for that movie. Coming in at number 17, we have Spider-Man Homecoming. And yes, the first Tom Holland movie in the MCU. It is good. It's good. Now, a lot of people have this as their favorite Spider-Man movie. I thought each one built on each other. I thought that 1 was as equally as good as 2, but 2 was a bit better. I thought 2 was as equally as good as 3, and 3 was the best one. That's just kind of how I view it. And this was such a good introduction. It is street level. You get the introduction of the Vulture, and the actor that plays him is utterly amazing. You have Zendaya in such a minor role, and you think she's not going to be the love interest, then almost like the big reveal at the end, oh, her name's MJ. Love that. Him and Ned being best friends. The bond with Tony Stark being his father figure. Oh my gosh, it is so good. It is so good. Spider-Man Homecoming is just a heartwarming film. You even see Donald Glover in this freaking movie. He's playing, what is it, the Prowler or whatever. It's a fun movie. It really is. And this is what Spider-Man's all about. And I think they're returning to this roots of not this big across the world and then across the multiverse film. No, this is going to be a more grounded film, Spider-Man Brand New Day next year. And this is exactly what Spider-Man Homecoming was. So comes in at number 17. It is a good film. You could even say that it is a heartwarming film. I was going to try and relate that to Homecoming and realized that doesn't work. At number 16, we have Captain America, the First Avenger. I think people forget how good that first Captain America movie is, with the Nazis, with him being frozen, with the big reveal at the end that he has woken up 60, 70, 80 years later. I mean, his bond with oh my gosh, what is Penny her name? No, why am I thinking Penny? Who is his love interest in this film? Oh my gosh, this is gonna hurt me forever. Steve and Peggy Carter's romance is just amazing, and the scene it blossom, and actually seeing that come into fruition in Avengers Endgame was super enjoyable. Really enjoyed that in this film. You know, the villain Red Skull is just evil, pure evil. He's worse than Hitler, some will say in the movie. That's really what they say. In Hydra, this offshoot of the Nazis, it's almost like a worse version of the Nazis, and they feel like the Nazis at the end of the day. And you see Bucky Barnes, his sacrifice in this film. You see him rescuing all the troops. I mean, Captain America, the first Avenger, people forget how good this was, and the fact this was what, the 5th MCU movie. It just shows how good the early MCU was. So Captain America, the first Avenger, comes in number 16. It is still good to this day. Getting into our top 15, at number 15, we have Fantastic Four: First Steps. And maybe it's recency bias, but I think everyone can agree this is a great film. This is a really great film. The world building, the characters working together, the villain. I mean, the only complaint people have is that there should have been more. There should have been more to this film. People wish that it wasn't as short as it was. A lot of scenes were cut for some reason, and people wish that it wasn't. That's a good complaint to have when you're talking about a movie. And I think watching Reed and Sue and Johnny and the Thing all work together, and them becoming another new team, and the fact that they're going to come and help fight Doctor Doom in the regular MCU is super fun. I really love this 1960s, what was it, 828 or whatever, the Earth they're on, their version of everything. It was so cool, so high tech. And the fact that this group has only been together, 4 years. You know, this wasn't an origin story, but it was kind of their big coming out as like a world-saving organization. And we finally got to see Galactus in the MCU, and I absolutely love that they didn't kill Galactus, because Galactus isn't that easy to take down. Also, Shala Ball as the female Silver Surfer. Oh, she was so good in this film as well. And also the big mystery of what is it with Franklin? What is it with Reed and Sue's son that makes him a big cosmic being that Galactus wanted him? It adds kind of this mystique to it, which keeps us entertained. And let's not talk about that end credit scene where you finally get a little glimpse of Doctor Doom with his cape as he's speaking to Franklin. That is right, Fantastic Four: First Steps. I do have it at 15. Out of all these movies, I do think it is better than the other movies we've listed. Now, every movie is good in its own right, but let me just tell you, Fantastic Four: First Steps, a great movie theater experience. I cannot wait to rewatch this once it's out on streaming. Coming in at number 14, we have Spider-Man: Far From Home. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Spider-Man: Far From Home. This was one of my favorite films of the MCU. I don't know what it was, but as a young teenage boy, this was before I had my lovely girlfriend, and just seeing MJ and Peter Parker, just their relationship blossom. They're just two teenagers in love. Oh, it struck a chord with me. It struck a chord with young single Zachary way back in the day, and I love Jake Gyllenhaal, and I love the tribute that they did to Tony Stark in this, and I love that there's just this element of these elementals that turn out to be like these drones, which, I mean, nowadays drones are like the whole talk of the thing, so that could be a reality one day. Then let's not talk about the reveal that Nick Fury and his assistant, that are actually Skrulls, and that Nick Fury's off base. I mean, this is crazy, and this is the growth you see in Peter Parker in Spider-Man. This is Tom Holland Spider-Man showing his official growth. You know, this was Homecoming. He's far from home. You know, he doesn't have help, and seeing him and Happy sort of bond in this film, and, you know, him and Aunt May, I mean, and the twist that they had with the drones where you didn't know what was reality, what wasn't reality. Oh my gosh, so good. Spider-Man: Far From Home. You know, people are going to say it's the worst of the three Spider-Man. People are going to have it outside of their top 20. You know, I don't. I have it at number 14. I absolutely adore this film, and I hope that you all will watch it and enjoy it yourselves. Coming in at number 13, we have Deadpool and Wolverine. And this movie is so tough to rank because it is just everything you wanted. Like, this is the biggest fan service movie I've ever seen. You finally get Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds as Wolverine and Deadpool working together, and this is what we wanted Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness to be. The cameos in this movie are insane. You have Channing Tatum in this. You have the OG Blade. You have Elektra. You have Johnny Storm, the actor who plays Steve Rogers. Oh my God, Chris Evans. You have Chris Evans in this film. You even have Sabretooth appearing in this one. This was so good, and the fact that the villain is Charles Xavier's, like, sister or whatever. She's just like the scene when she like reaches her hand in and can go into their head. I absolutely love that. And how about the actor who plays Tom in oh my gosh, Succession, one of my favorite TV shows. He is the like leader of the TVA. He's like the head of the TVA, and the fact that TVA is being introduced here, it's so funny. You see this redemption arc of Deadpool, and especially for Wolverine here after how Logan ended. It's so good. It was so freaking good. This is just such a fun movie. I haven't even seen it since I saw it in the movie theater. I am just pumped to rewatch it again. I haven't had any time really to go out back and rewatch it, but Deadpool Wolverine comes in number 13. It is just so fun. So fun. The final scene where Deadpool and Wolverine are just fighting all the other Deadpools. Oh man, it is a fantastic time. Deadpool Wolverine comes in at number 13. At number 12, we have Spider-Man No Way Home. And I know some people might be thinking, how is this not in your top 5? But Spider-Man No Way Home, when it first came out, it immediately shot up the tracks. I mean, it passed Endgame on some people's list, but after multiple rewatches of the film, I'm comfortable with it at 12. And if you want to put in your top 10, that's all you, because my top 10 is, like I said, my ranking of the MCU. This isn't the general consensus. This is my ranking. Spider-Man No Way Home, it's just a perfect film. It's amazing. You finally get Andrew Garfield. You finally get Tobey Maguire. You get 3 Spider-Man working together, taking on the greatest hits of Spider-Man villains. You have the Green Goblin, who is just William Dafoe at his most menacing. You have Jamie Foxx in this as Electro or whatever his name is. You have the Octopus. You have Sandman. You have the Lizard. It is phenomenal. And the big thing at the end where Peter Parker has to sacrifice everyone not knowing him again to save the entire world. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, the end of that is heart-wrenching, it's heartbreaking, and it is so good. Spider-Man No Way Home is a phenomenal film. I almost wish that it would have closed out one of the phases. It's just such a good completion to a phase. Like, it should have been probably how they ended phase 3 or even phase 4. But, you know, who knows what's going to go on Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's been a while since we've seen Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and this film is just, you know, perfect mix of comedy, perfect mix of emotions. I mean, it is truly one of the more emotional MCU movies. You've been seeing a lot more emotional MCU movies lately, which I really like to see. And coming in at number 12, you know, it's going to be in some other people's top 10. No issue with me, but for me, it comes in at number 12. At number 11, I have Black Panther, and I was very surprised to see this is actually people's number 1 MCU movie. Just gonna be honest, it has never been nowhere near my number 1 MCU movie. It's been in the top 10 before, but with recent releases and just me shuffling around my list, it comes in at number 11. For me, there's really nothing wrong with this movie. It has arguably one of the best soundtracks. It's either this or the Guardians of the Galaxy films. Those are the best soundtracks we've ever had in the MCU. Chadwick Boseman is a fantastic lead. His arc from being this leader of Wakanda to suffering a defeat due to Killmonger coming in, who, by the way, Michael B. Jordan plays it amazing villain here in Killmonger. Insane. One of my main complaints is that Andy Serkis dies in this film. I wish we would have kept Ulysses Claw around, but seeing him almost die in this film, and then his arch villain from the Gorilla Tribe or whatever that is, not a Koi, oh my gosh, whatever the big guy is, absolutely love that actor. He's amazing. And seeing him come back to life and then re-getting the serum and then coming back and him going back, and as you can see, I'm not dead. Oh my goodness. I was ready. I was on go time. I was on go time in the movie theater. It was great. It was amazing. This is the pre-Infinity War movie. People forget this movie was what set up Infinity War, and what a good setup film it was. Black Panther, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, comes at number 11 for me. It is such a good film. I'm so sad we never got a proper sequel to this film. At number 10, here's where things get a little goofy, and I know it's just because it's my list. At number 10, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I say it's going to get goofy because you're about to see all 3 Guardians of the Galaxies in my top 10. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the reason it's at 3 is just because I have seen 1 and 2 so many times. I love them so much. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, oh my goodness, it is my most emotional MCU film. Seeing what they did with Rocket and his backstory with Rabbit and just his friends being murdered in front of him, and the who is it, the High Evolutionary, you know, I'm going to say this is maybe controversial, I think is the most evil villain we've seen in the MCU. We've had better villains, Thanos, Loki, Ultron, but the High Evolutionary is the most evil villain we have seen. He is truly just diabolical. And watching them take him down felt real. It felt like a threat. And seeing the team kind of Rocket take the lead here, and Peter Quill dealing with things about not knowing Gamora. I mean, it was really emotional. And seeing them go to new worlds and fight new things. And this truly was the culmination of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And it really sucks because I think James Gunn did such an amazing job. And by the way, he did do such an amazing job that the biggest competitor, DC, hired him, and he just put out the biggest comic book movie of the year in Superman. I haven't seen that. Gonna wait till it comes out. But James Gunn, you should just know how good he did with the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. The rivals hired him to take over their entire company. And the fake outs in this movie of deaths is just unreal. The amount of times you think Rocket's gonna die, then Drax, then Peter. Oh man. Oh man, it's emotional. And then the ending where they split up, but it's just like they have to split up. It's just how it goes. It really was just kind of like a lot of symbolism to life nowadays, and having to say goodbye to people that you thought would be around forever. It is a amazing movie. It comes in at number 10 for me, but like Loki, I can put this at number 1. I absolutely love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes in at number 10 for me. And number 9, we have Captain America Winter Soldier. And yeah, this is a lot of people's top movie. It's as good as advertised. It's a spy thriller. I'm getting Cold War vibes. I'm getting World War II vibes. You're getting the evil henchman of Red Skull in this film. I mean, it is really good. And it feels real. Like that scene also where Nick Fury's getting blasted with guns. He drops out the bottom of the sewer tank to survive. Oh, so good. Absolutely love that. Frank Grillo in this, he is so fun. He's a good little villain. That elevator fight scene is iconic. All the ships crashing down into DC, that is another iconic scene. And basically Nick Fury dying in this film, him actually having to kill off his identity to go on and live. It's just what had to be done. And I really like the bond you see of Captain America and Black Widow. The one thing I do hate is they were teasing romantic interest the entire film between those two, and they never reference it after this. Like after this film, Steve goes back to being somewhat obsessed with the daughter of Peggy, and then also goes off to Romanoff goes off to being with the Hulk. So, they kind of teased that. There wasn't any payoff, but overall, this is a fantastic movie. It's fun. It's just spy escape. It's off James Bond vibes, if you will, and it's a good time. So, Captain America Winter Soldier comes in at number 9 for me. Number 8, we have Guardians of the Galaxy. That is right. A lot of people have this as their best Guardians of the Galaxy film. This is in like everyone's top 10 nonetheless, but for me, comes in number 8. I think it's good. I think it's really good. It was the introduction to the Guardians of the Galaxy. Didn't know they were connected to the MCU at this point. Seeing them bond, seeing them come together as a team, just round of applause. It was so much fun. You get your first little glimpse at Thanos in this film. Ronan the Accuser is an actual legit villain we hate. We just despise him. And seeing the sacrifices of the Nova Corps really added that emotional element to this film. Also seeing Yondu in this film, his bond with Peter Quill, that was amazing. The final battle scenes are good. The world building is good, with the Collector even going to nowhere. This movie's amazing. Guardians of the Galaxy, there's little to be said. You already know the spiel. And, Chris Pratt was already a star, and this still took him from like here all the way up here. I mean, Chris Pratt just was off. But after the Parks and Rec thing, where he was just the comedic funny guy, him landing this role made him so much of a star. So, coming in at number 8 is Guardians of the Galaxy. Right in front of it at number 7 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And I honestly believe that there are 3 people in this world. There are people that think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 is the best, people that think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is the best, and people that think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is the best. And I am a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 supporter. That's how it worked its way all the way up to number 7. People don't like this film for some reason. I don't know. I don't understand. I personally, this is just me, I think it's my favorite soundtrack. It's the most I've listened to of any soundtrack ever from any movie. I think the villain being his father, being how evil he is, like truly he is such an evil person. He killed his mother, and that scene where he goes, "It's a shame I had to put that tumor in her head, boy," and he goes, "What?" And they just launches at him and attacks him. I absolutely love that. And let's not talk about the Yondu sacrifice. Oh my gosh, that had me. That really did have me. All the end credit scenes and all the things they set up, those were amazing. I forgot to mention how funny Will Poulter was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 as who is it, Adam or whatever it is. I forgot to mention how funny that was. But Volume 2 is just, I just love going to Ego's planet, and just like, there was just so much mystery about, this guy's the big bad villain, but like, what's his motive? What's his motive? What's his motive? And he wants to take over the entire universe. And like, it was so menacing. It was so good. And it has one of the best opening credit scenes with Mr. Blue Sky playing as they're fighting this big octopus creature from space. You have Baby Groot dance around. I mean, I absolutely love Baby Groot. And the step aside big Groot, step aside teenage Groot, Baby Groot is everyone's favorite Groot. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, amazing, comes in at number 7 for me. At number 6, we have Captain America Civil War, aka Avengers 2.0. I mean, 2.5, I should say. I mean, Captain America Civil War. No, the fact it's a Captain America movie is just so funny, because this is just, the fact we had this many people in this movie is it's out of this world. It's insane. And this is just such a good movie. And one of my favorite things about this movie is that Zemo, the villain, isn't the strongest. He isn't the smartest. He is just calculating. He just he realized, I can't take down the Avengers by myself. I have to take them down from within. So he found how he can do that with the super soldier serum, and how Bucky was the one that killed Iron Man's parents, and then Captain America find him. And that final fight scene between Captain America and Iron Man, oh, so good. The airport scene where you see Black Panther getting involved, and you see the debut of what's his name? Spider-Man in the MCU. This is where we first saw Spider-Man, and Vision being in this. Oh man, it's so good. It is so good. This movie is just amazing. It's just amazing. I might even go rewatch it right now. Captain America Civil War is that freaking good. And the end credit scenes where we finally learn that we're heading to Wakanda. Oh man, it had me going so hype. It's amazing. It's amazing. Captain America Civil War, and also them all being put in prison, then breaking out at the end. It's great. It's really great. So comes at number 6 for me. I really flip-flopped on where to put it, but I'm confident with it at number 6. At number 5, ladies and gentlemen, we have Thor Ragnarok. That's right, into our top 5, Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Thor Ragnarok, and after you could rewatch a movie a lot of times, obviously you kind of like aren't as like shocked at scenes, you don't laugh at the same jokes, but Thor Ragnarok was just not what we expected. Thor to Thor 2, they were what they weren't, and like, this was the final movie before we got into Black Panther, then Infinity War, and we were like, yeah, we'll see what we get. But then Hulk is in this, and Thor has his head shaven, and his father dies, and he has a sister named Hela, and him and Loki are working together as friends, and you're just like, whoa, this is a lot for me to take in, but I'm loving this. And he starts it off fighting Surtur. Little did we know Surtur would be back at the end of the film. I mean, this was great. Also, the debut of Valkyrie in this. We also had, the Rock guy? I can't remember the Rock's name, but he just amazing. Just amazing. Watching Thor and Hulk fight, and then them bonding, and them escaping the planet, and Jeff Bloom, or whatever his name is, as like the leader of this war fighting planet. Super funny, super funny. It is just, I'm rethinking the entire film. That end credit scene where Thor, not the end credit scene, the end of the film where Thor like loses his eye, then he finally gets the power, and he like comes down, and it's like oh buddy, that had me going crazy. It was so freaking hype. And then you get the sacrifice of, oh my gosh, I cannot remember the actor who plays Butch, or was it Butch? Is it Butch on this what is it, the Boys? Oh my gosh, my mind is just blanking right now. But that actor, absolutely loved him in this one. He had a little sacrifice moment, which was good to see. It's great. And Heimdall being in this is too cool. Seeing him, Thor Ragnarok, it gets a 10 out of 10 for me. I love this film. Easily the best Thor film. It comes in at number 5. Coming in number 4, we have the Avengers, the OG Avengers movie. And I was so surprised, because I didn't actually think this Avengers movie was that good. And then revisiting it, you forget how good this is. You forget how the movie built on itself. You forget how it worked its way up to them all being together. You forgot that this movie joined them all together, and that they weren't a good team at first, and that you needed a bit of a sacrifice here with Agent Coulson or whatever. And, Nick Fury bringing them all together, and Iron Man and Captain America and Hulk and Thor, everyone fighting over who's the leader of this team. And then the final battle scene with Loki, and everyone just invading Earth, and the sacrifice Iron Man made. It's so good. It's just really good. The camaraderie is there. The team is there. And this is the OG Avengers we're talking about. This is what you could say kicked off the MCU. And the end credit scene, Thanos turning around smiling. Oh man, that lets you know it's about to go down. This is about to be one of the biggest, payoffs of all time. And that's what the Avengers movie was. It just speaks to how good this is. And, obviously Avengers Age of Ultron didn't live up to the height of a sequel, but in terms of the Avengers paying off, Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Hulk, Thor, and Captain America, wonderful. Comes in at number 4 for me. I kid you not, this is one of the most rewatchable movies in the MCU. 5 stars. 5 stars across the board. And number 4 is the Avengers. Coming in at number 3, we have Iron Man. It doesn't get old. It doesn't get old, guys. It really doesn't. Iron Man is a staple of the MCU. It was the first film they kicked off with. I still think it looks so realistic. As a 6-year-old, an 8-year-old watching this film, I'm like, is that suit real? And how do I get that suit? It's the most realistic looking suit. And obviously we can say like the villain, it's not like the most menacing villain ever, but this is this is what kicked off the MCU. Obviously the Avengers is like what kind of, but this is the first film, and this kind of started the end credit scene. I mean, no one knew about Nick Fury until like the internet became an even bigger thing. Everyone's like, wait a second, do you all know that there's end credit scenes and Nick Fury is in the MCU recruiting Iron Man? Yeah. There's references to that throughout the whole film. Oh, it's so good. And Robert Downey Jr. just was amazing in this role. Him saying, I am Iron Man to end the film. That's such a perfect way to end the film. And seeing his character, I mean, you talk about growth about him from now until the end of Endgame, but talking about him now where he was like legit a billionaire playboy, and then he gets kidnapped, his heart almost dies, and he has to work his way back, and the bond he forms in that cave. And one of the best things, one of the most famous lines is, Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps. It's just one of the most iconic lines, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It's hard to be topped. There's really nothing like this. Like when you look at giant franchises like Star Wars, the first film wasn't the best film. When you look at the DC, the first film isn't the best film. When you look at the Jurassic Park movies, some may say the first is the best, but others may not. But certainly for the MCU, Iron Man, it is so iconic. It's amazing. It comes in number 3 for me. Dare I say, could be number 1 on some people's lists. Coming in number 2, these are interchangeable for me, but I have Avengers Endgame. That's right, at number 2, ladies and gentlemen, Avengers Endgame. And really the only reason is because Infinity War is just, I like cliffhangers better than I like culminations. That's just me. But Avengers Endgame, it's everything we asked for. Literally everything we asked for and more. And more. Them traveling time, going to all key points in time, Thor's mother, Tony Stark's father, the battle in New York. Oh, it's heartwarming. It's so good. The sacrifices of Black Widow, the redemption, the final battle scene is literally the most iconic moment in the MCU, you could argue. You have the big 3 taking on Thanos, and this version of Thanos, this is peak Thanos. The Thanos here, for some reason, is more powerful than the one with all the freaking stones on his hand. There's just something about him, and it's at perfect length. It is the sacrifice of Iron Man is what made all of us feel emotional, and then Steve handing off the reins, and the fact there's no end credit scene, the only MCU movie without any form of end credit scene. Oh man, it's just an adieu to Iron Man at the end. It's amazing. It's amazing. Like, I could go through the whole film. The spiel. They travel through time. The fact that they opened with them killing Thanos made me kind of go, shoot, what's going on? Then we have a 5-year time jump. Oh, the shock there. The theater experience watching that will never be beat. It was amazing. But that's when I think my theater experience was beat by one thing. And what is that? None other than the number 1 MCU movie, Avengers Infinity War. That's right. This is my number 1. And by the way, Infinity War Endgame, they're both equally my number 1. But I just have Infinity War a bit higher because it is just, we didn't know what to expect here. I understand we didn't know what to expect with Endgame, but with Infinity War, it was truly, okay, we have to top everything we've done before this. What are we going to do? And what do? We do one thing we haven't had happen, the villain win. And the fact that they all died at the end and we actually thought they died was crazy. It was truly mind-blowing. We didn't know what to do. We really didn't. And you're like, oh my gosh, Thanos won. And he sat at the end of the movie and watched a graceful universe. And Gamora dying. We opened the movie with Heimdall and Loki dying. What? No, I love both of them. Little did we know that actually Heimdall's in Valhalla and Loki is now the holder of the entire multiverse, but well, that's another story. It's just this movie was just so good, so good. And you see Tom Holland dying and the effect that has on Iron Man, and you see Captain America literally standing toe to toe, making Thanos bleed. That was something. The Battle of Wakanda is arguably one of the best battle scenes. Obviously, Avengers Endgame has the best end battle scene, but this one with Thor arriving, bring me Thanos. Oh my gosh, I was ready to run through a freaking wall. And then when he lands on him and you see him kill Thanos, you're like, oh my gosh, that's it. And then Thanos goes, you should have gone for the head. Bah, snaps. You're like, oh my gosh, what just happened? The best part, I saw some of my parents and my grandpa. My grandpa hadn't seen a single MCU movie before that. So me and my mom were just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And he's like, nah, yeah, it was a pretty good movie. I don't really understand anything that happened, though. It was so funny. But Avengers Infinity War, I have it at number 1 for my best MCU movie. It is just peak. It's incredible. It is perfection. I don't really know what you could add to this movie to make it any better. It is that freaking good. I almost forgot Vision's sacrifice. That was another crazy thing. Watching Wanda have to rip out Vision's Infinity Stone out of his head, only for Thanos to then turn back the time and take it from him. Man, Thanos, the best villain we've seen in the MCU. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our video. We, of course, have Spider-Man Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday, and, of course, what will be the number 40th movie, Avengers Secret War. So when those 3 come out, I will make sure to do another one of these videos. But let me know where you guys rank some of these films. Obviously, this is my opinion. I don't expect everyone to agree with me. If everyone agreed with me, it'd be a boring world. So let me know what you guys think. And also, if you didn't know, we actually do have a podcast called the Surprise Jab Podcast, where I have ranked movies before, talk about Marvel. You can see all those reviews there that I've done for a lot of my films. And if you like UFC, if you like WWE, I talk about that too. But with that, I will sign off and I will see you next time. Or better yet, I am Iron Man. Is that a good send off? I don't know. See ya.